How do we let go of the hustle mindset, even when we know we don't want to be pushing and forcing? That's exactly what we're talking about today on Mindful Manifesting. You're listening to Ariana Rollins. But before we dive into the episode, if you would like my 10-minute momentum reset, completely free, very quick way to get into aligned action, you can go to mindfulachiever.com. It's right on the homepage. All right. For this episode, I was thinking about something that is really near and dear to my heart because I love working with driven, ambitious entrepreneurs. I am one, and so I can relate to them. But something has been happening over these last recent years. Maybe it was because of lockdown. I'm not sure. But for me, it put a pause in my normal way of being. We weren't able to go out. We weren't socializing like usual. There were a lot of times where there were days and days and days and days I never saw another human. I was just in my home. And I think it gave me an opportunity to review how I was using my time. It was like there was so much more time available because I couldn't go out. And so with that time, I started to become aware of patterns, that hustle mentality, that driven, got to get things done. And when things are shut down and locked down, you can't really go out and get things done. It forced me back into myself. So I want to talk about getting things done, not from hustle, not from forcing. And I'm going to make this as practical as possible because I don't like generally the airy-fairy woo-woo stuff because it doesn't bring it into, okay, what can I do now? And I am all about achieving our big goals here and now from a place of ease, from a place of alignment. So let's first talk about if you have felt kind of stuck on your bigger goals. Little ones are happening. You're accomplishing them. You just have a thought and you just notice yourself doing it. You end the day with, yeah, that was good to get that done. That was light. That was easy. The easy stuff you're doing. It's the bigger goals, the ones that will really move the needle in your life or your business. And there's things that have significant possibility to change your life. Those are the goals we're going to be talking about today. Now, you know you're capable. So if you're not making progress on your big goals, it's not matching your potential. There's something going on, and we're going to be talking about that. Now, most high achievers I work with don't doubt their abilities. They know they can do it. They have a track record of achieving big things. Nearly impossible things. But they're frustrated because their reality right now isn't reflecting what they know that they can achieve. So what's happening here? What's happening? Well, in my experience, when I'm working with people and with myself, because I'm, the guinea pig in my own business, is that those meaningful goals, the big ones, the ones that are going to change my life significantly, I've tried before. I've tried several times. And maybe I do move it forward a bit, but I never quite cross the finish line. It's like, yes, I'm making progress, but I never complete it. It doesn't get done. Now, yes, I have completed some big things, like finishing Mindful Achiever, the book. I have relaunched the Highest Potential program from a 6-month to a year-long journey. I've launched multiple programs, but those were different. And I'll tell you why, at least for me, is that I already had a really good, solid foundation. I'd already started the book. It was a matter of just got a lot of substance in there. It was a matter of taking who and where I am right now and bringing that level of consciousness to the book, to refining it and completing it. And with the highest potential program, the work had been done. Yes, I did have to add a few more lessons, but they were needed because I wanted to stretch out the work to give people some spaciousness over a year to complete it. So the bulk was done. It was just me getting into alignment. The timing was right that I was able to push it across the finish line. No, I take that word back. I don't like push. That I was able to gently find myself moving across the finish line. Now, how did I do that? What motivates me is setting a deadline. No, I didn't even like that term, guys. Sorry, this is going to be a whole episode. Nope, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. It's not a deadline. It's a line of accountability. And the way I do it is I send an email out to my subscribers. And if you're not on my list, I really invite you to, because there are all sorts of different there's specials that I put in there. There's new content that you'll have access to. So if you want to go to mindfulachiever.com, grab that 10-minute momentum reset, and then you'll get right on my list. You could always unsubscribe if you want to, if the content, I'm not going to blast your email inbox. I mean, once a week, twice a month, maybe. That's it. Okay. So if I commit and I put it out there to my list, to my subscribers, you could hear my voice. This is real, guys. When I say I'm going to do something and I've said it to somebody else, to my whole list, that's a lot, that I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow through. And I find that gives me that alignment because I am serving others. Now, that's a big motivator for me. It may not be for everyone, but for me, if I'm doing it for somebody else and I could see how it could benefit somebody else's life, that gets me into gear. So I'm doing it for others. I've committed. I'm putting a date out there and I'm going to do it. So one of the things that is really important for me is, and I think it started during lockdown when I'm looking back, is that hustle mentality. And I started this idea of mindfulness. That's not new. I didn't start it, sorry. But I brought it into how we can achieve things from a mindful, present place. Mindful Achiever, that became the title of the book. Because that motivates me. It allows me to do my personal growth work, my spiritual development within the context of getting things done, accomplishing things, achieving things. You could also think about it as the term that I've coined, strategic manifesting. When we are struggling to create momentum with our big goals, even though we are uber capable, and we've had a track record of successes, there's usually 2 or 3 things going on, which I'd like to share with you. And as I share them, please notice if you're leaning forward, if your energy feels uplifted, if you feel like a resonance. Yep, I can resonate with that. If you're struggling to create momentum with your big goals, 2 or 3 things could be going on, one or all of them. One, is there something more meaningful for you to work on first? The timing isn't right. Sometimes you're not going to know that, which is why I loved teaching the ladder workshop. You can still grab that. The replay is still available. You can go to, I'll put the link in the show notes. It's a really good little masterclass, completely free. I'll put that in the show notes. It's noticing that there's something that needs to be done first. So, this is a mundane example, but it's the one that comes to me right now. So I bought a pair of culotte, kind of very lightweight jean culotte, long length, for Austin Summers. And I bought it. It was on, I think it was eBay, right? It was a used pair of perfect fit Chicos. And I really like their fit. They're really good. And they just suit me, high quality. So I get them, I put them on, I'm like, oh, I feel so fuddy-duddy. These are terrible. Look at the fit. So I take some pictures and I'm analyzing what could improve it. What's wrong? So kind of fast forward a little bit. I took out the seam because I've been sewing for many, many years, decades and decades. So I know how to fix things. I know how to hem things. I know how to sew things from scratch. So I took out the waistband and I'm analyzing it. Well, I didn't get to what I needed to do with it. So the waistband's opened up. It's sitting on my table, ready for sewing. The sewing machine's out. And then I get the idea, this is how to do it. I practice it. It didn't work. So what I do is I put it to one side because I know I don't have all the answers. I didn't have all the answers until the other day, spontaneously, I go into Hobby Lobby. They've got a good sewing department, and I see exactly what I needed. A very wide waistband, just like the normal, very high-quality Chico pants. They're very slimming in the front. So it's exactly it. So I get it. I didn't even measure it. It's perfect. So sometimes we don't have all the pieces ready to complete something. It's a mundane example, guys, but it's the one that's real right now. I got my sewing machine set up, ready to go. I've got the elastic. And now I know what will make it perfect. Had I moved forward with what I already had, it was not going to serve me. It wasn't going to give me the excellent result. And if you haven't listened to the episode on manifesting for perfectionists, it's the one right before this one. I think it's episode 191. It's a good one. So sometimes you don't have all the pieces to make it the result you want. So pausing, not pushing and forcing, because what would have happened? I would have done it. The hems was great, but the waistband would have been terrible. I wouldn't have worn them. Just like they'd get pushed in the back of my closet. So sometimes we have to wait for those steps to fall into place. And we can't push it or force it. And that's the thing with our big goals. Not that tailoring my Chico's culottes was a big goal. But with our bigger goals, it takes a little while for us to... it's interesting. This is the phrase that comes up. It's kind of tease out the steps. We don't know in the beginning, which is why I like the ladder method, because that can help tease it out. We're doing a brain dump, and then we're bringing those on the different rungs, the ladder, and it's all through strategic manifesting. It's not SMART goals, not at all. We're teasing out the steps. And once you get that next step and it's aligned, you know this is the right thing to work on, you notice yourself taking action. And that's the cool thing about taking action. Okay, so let's talk about the second or third thing about struggling to create momentum. Now, this is more subtle. We talked about it, the timing might not be right. Actually, the second one was you don't have all the pieces. I already talked about that one. I didn't call it number 2. But the third one is more subtle because you've got some work to do, some inner work. There's resistance. There's energetic blockages. And I'm not talking about the energetic blockages that EFT could do or energetic blockages that doing a vision board or a coin on terms, affirmation, it's for something. I'm not talking about those. Those are what, in my experience, surface level. They work on smaller things, but when you've got a big, life-changing, meaningful goal that's going to move the needle in your personal satisfaction, usually it's deeper and it's living at the unconscious mind. Those methodologies, in my personal experience, is that they're working at the subconscious level. You're kind of aware of the patterns, and those can move you into some gentle action, and it can help you get into some momentum. But when you're talking about a big, life-changing, move the needle, income growth, or you want to start dating again, or you want to move the relationship you're in now to marriage, well, those are big life-changing things. And you have tried them in the past. Every time you've tried in the past and you have, I don't like the word, but quotes around it, failed, or disappointed yourself, or abandoned it, or stalled, stopped, started, tried to do another methodology, that has created programming in your unconscious mind. And that programming very much has to do with protecting you from future disappointment. And that is important because nobody wants to feel that disappointment, that feeling of failure. So your unconscious mind goes into protection mode. We're going to do whatever it takes to avoid that. It doesn't feel good. And so we contract, we shift gears, we switch to something that's easier to do, we pause. But here's the thing about pausing, it never goes away because you know you're not fulfilling your potential. You know you're not matching what you're capable of. And it's that thing that's kind of like niggling at the back of your head. It won't go away. But here's the cool thing is once you start to rekindle it like a fire, you put some gentle, nice ideas on it that are fleshing it out, making it fresh, making it new, putting new kindling, then you can re-enliven it. And then if you can do it from that place without reactivating all the old stuff, you can start to make momentum. But let's talk about a little bit more on why momentum can feel elusive. Probably because there's a gap between what you're capable of and what you're doing now. What you know is truly your potential and how you're turning up. There's a gap. And it's not about confidence or effort. It's about having the right structure that works for you, personalized to you and your goal, to turn your reluctance, your lack of certainty, into consistent action, coming from that aligned action. Another thing why momentum can feel elusive is there's loneliness on the solo entrepreneur journey. We've all experienced it. And that trying to move the needle on something that's really big on our own, it's easy to stop. It's easy to start strong, but then life happens and the cycle continues. But when we're working with others, when we've got an accountability partner, another phrase, I've got a really best friend, and she and I have talked about the notion of prayer partners. And for me, what I teach is an accurate form of prayer. Not that there's bad forms of prayer, not by any means. I don't mean to say that. But it's actually taking that big, deep desire and going into the roots of mind, into the unconscious mind, and creating that beautiful, aligned feeling, which leads to creating a future memory, which leads to aligned action. So doing that on our own can be kind of lonely, and it's way too easy to stop. Way too easy. Who's going to care, right? So the solo journey on big things is harder to accomplish, by ourselves. And that's why the notion of the momentum mastermind came to me. I had this birth of an idea. I wanted to create a space where people could stop spinning their wheels and that start and start to see real traction toward their bigger goals. So I've been refining exercises from my book, Mindful Achiever, creating a new wonderful form, the Mindful Achiever Objective Process Form, and I've been playing with it. And what I'm noticing people need most right now is clarity, that what they're working on is right timing, alignment before they take action, before they use their energy, because our energy is not infinite. We've got limited amount of energy, limited amount of time during the day. And that Momentum, connection, and accountability happens when we're working with others and we've got that structure, all without pressure. So the Momentum Mastermind, I'm just giving you guys a sneak peek. I haven't even opened the doors. I haven't even let anybody know about it. It's what we're going to be doing. It's a 90-day container, and I'm going to be doing it right alongside you. So it's kind of teacher and learner all at the same time. It's a very collaborative, beautiful process whenever I teach group programs. So what we'll be doing together, number one, clarify your big goal so you feel excited and you feel that commitment rising in you again. Yes, I do want this. Number two, you're going to align your energy and actions so it feels truly doable. And we're going to let go of that stop-start cycle. Number three, we're going to build momentum through simple, consistent practices. Number four, you're going to connect with others in a low-pressure way. I really like accountability buddies. I think it really helps that intimate connection if you want. That's optional. And then number five is staying accountable with the group without the overwhelm of daily check-ins. We're going to have 3 interactive calls during the 90 days, the container, but that's not all. You're going to get some weekly, probably monthly little exercises that are all about you building that momentum in a way that works for you. And so it's Momentum 90-Day Mastermind, and it's designed to take you from that stop-start, feeling stuck or scattered, to feeling focused, supported, and in flow with your bigger goals. So let's see if I want to say anything else on that. Now, I'm excited about it. This is a brand new program that's based on Mindful Achiever, and it's deepening it. So we'll be working through some of the exercises in the book. So if you've already got it, great. And if you haven't, I urge you to get it. I'll put the link in the show notes. And if you start reading the book and you find yourself leaning in, it's like there's resonant truth in here. And I would love to work with Ariana in a container with others to really move the needle on my bigger goals. I'd love to have you in there. So if you're someone who's finally ready to face that stop-start cycle and align your actions with your ambitions, this is your chance to be a trailblazer. This is the first time I've run the Momentum Mastermind, and I'd love to have you in there. And if you're listening to this after May 17th, I do have a little coupon code in there. If you sign up and you're an early bird before May 17th, I'll put the link and the coupon code in the show notes. There might still be a spot for you, but make sure you're on my newsletter and you've got my email. Reach out. I'm all about you having the clarity and knowing the timing is right. So we'll gather together June 1st over the summer, and we're going to make it a summer to remember. We will remember the summer of 2026 when we finally accomplished that big, meaningful goal, and we will celebrate, my friends. August 31st is going to be a banner day. Now, if you have children at home, they're on summer breaks, don't you think they'd be inspired by their mom or dad working on something? That they are doing something to improve the quality of their life, improve the results in their business? Because here's the thing, when our children see us moving forward on something meaningful, it's inspiring to them. We're always learning. We're always growing. All right. Woo, this is a long episode, guys. All right. So as we wrap up, I'll put all the links in the show notes. And please get on my email list. That's where you're going to get the juicy stuff. And as we confirm ourselves, we chart our own path to success. So much love. Thanks so much for listening. Many blessings. I hope to be able to share the journey with you in our 90-day Momentum Mastermind. Bye for now.